Hey, Forex Fortune Hunters, let's get some pips. Tom Wilmot. And for our room members, I wanted to share a different indicator today and just give you an opportunity to see if it will help you with your trading. I'd like to share that we're going to insert that. First of all, this is our typical Forex Fortune Hunter template that we use each time. We have a chandelier that supplies resistance and support areas. We have a T3 Tilson, which is represented by the dashed white line, which is, I think, in this case, set to 34. And we can manipulate that, of course. We also have our multiple moving averages, which are noted as 12, 16, 20, and 24 EMA. Those are exponential moving averages. So for example, this dashed yellow line would be the 12 EMA, the quickest of the bunch, and the blue is the 24 EMA. Okay, so when we get a buy zone, we cross over, and we have three things that have happened. We've had a medallion shift, which means that the 12 is crossed over the 24. We have had a chandelier shift, which means that we now have support from the chandelier, and we've also crossed over the T3 Tilson. Now, a buy zone does not mean that we instantly get into the market. We're kind of waiting for a pullback into the bands. And this is pretty clear on this particular chart. This happens to be a 15-minute chart. We can always drop down. This is Australian dollar, US dollar, by the way, 15-minute chart. We could drop down to a 5-minute chart, and we'll find out that here is the area where we would have another kind of a breakout and a move to the north. This isn't as stunning as some, but it'll serve our purposes. Now, what I wanted to share with you today is an opportunity to add yet one more indicator, and it's a stock indicator in most versions of Metatrader, that we could put onto the chart to help us visually. It doesn't change the strategy at all. However, it does give us a better opportunity to see what's happening with our multiple moving averages. And it's called, if we go to indicators and custom, it's called GMMA. Now, these multiple moving averages, MMA, are clear, and G stands for guppy, as crazy as that may sound. Guppy. Daryl Guppy is a very bright, wonderful, experienced technical analyst from Australia, and he's the one that wrote a book about multiple moving averages I read long ago, and it's very helpful. So here we have the short-term ones, and those are more like our 12 to 24, and we're going to click on long. And I have changed the colors to something that helps me with my chart. You can go into any of these and change the colors. This happens to be violet, but obviously you have a whole color pattern you can select from. And then I use medium orchid down below just to help me figure out what's happening. Okay, now we'll click OK, and notice what's happened now. It's very clear that even though we have a buy zone almost set up right here, except for the chandelier, that when we put the long-term guppy moving averages in place here, that we still, this is a false breakout to the north, okay? The fact that we had an up medallion and that we had, you know, this cross over the T3, look what happened. We came back down and in fact made a new low on the very next day. Okay, now over in here we can see that our crossovers occurred, and here was our buy zone, actually one candle to the right over here after this has occurred. Notice that the pullback helps us, and notice that we are reinforced by this area by the fact that the purple moving averages are also twisting up and on their way. And on a 15-minute chart, as I said, this wasn't a magnificent example, but it shows you that there's really no way until you get over into this zone that you're going to be twisting to the downside. And you kind of want to wait until your averages, both sets now, are aligned in the appropriate direction. That should help you to take, higher probability trades. Okay, now let's move on and see if we get some other ones. Here's a twist. Notice that we have the purple. It's consolidating here, but it's a nice move to the north. Here was a pullback into the bands on the 15 minute. Let's put our line here now and see if there's an opportunity on the 5-minute chart for some kind of a pullback here. And pull it over, and sure enough, right down into the bands. And notice that if your purple is aligned below the existing ones in Forex Fortune Hunter, that we'd be in a position to not have to worry too much. Not only have we cleared this chandelier and our T3 Tilson, but we've got a nice move to the north. And once again, this is to just try to eliminate some of the lower risk trades. Now in this case it's Aussie US, so it's only 16 pips, but up to the top, if you'd waited till after the London session, there's a nice 25 pip trade. And this is not one of the more volatile pairs in most market opportunities. Notice here also that we have a situation which was our first drop through the chandelier. And even though we've had a drop through the chandelier on the 5-minute chart, we have this kind of reverse Fibonacci that we've been discussing in the room, some kind of an up thrust and then a continuation of the move. And notice that even though we did have a medallion saying that our 12 and 24 had shifted, we wanted to be careful because we still have upward facing longer term GMMA. The purple ones have not yet twisted to the downside. Okay, if we moved over here, you can see that this was a consolidation move also, a compression of the bands, but nothing really bad happened yet. And then down we went, and sure enough, off we went to the races to the downside. Notice all the pullbacks that occur here below the chandelier. It just gives you an additional edge in observing what the trend change might be. So I hope that helps. We'll discuss it more in detail in the room next week. Meanwhile, I hope that it will help your trading. Have a great weekend.